Hey, it's Sam here from Guitar.com at NAMM 2020. I'm at the Abernethy booth with Joe and Justin with some incredibly cool looking guitars here. Justin, some of these models are unbelievably eye-watering to look at. Tell us more about this brand and tell us how the design, because there's a lot of designs here that kind of like feel like crossovers between two different guitars. Tell us more about how you've designed these guitars.
Well, right now Joe's holding my All Access model, which is kind of my take on an SG, if you will. You know, being able to get right up on the bottom of the neck. It's this particular one's all mahogany, 25-inch scale. More to answer your question, the Steed behind you there was kind of my start doing the SG meets the Mustang kind of mashup, and you know that model finally has kind of morphed into my Sonic Empress model now. It's taken me a few different models to kind of get out the idea I really had in mind originally. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is the first year I have both an All Access and a Steed in the booth as well. I didn't bring either one last year. I don't think I even had one built. But really stoked on the response they're getting. You know, everybody really seems to love it. This AA particularly has probably the smallest neck in the booth. So you know, most of the Sonic Empress models have like a pretty close to a 59, where this has got more of my A neck, a smaller nut width, a little smaller neck profile. And you know, I've got three different scale lengths in the booth. Like I said, this one's a 25-inch. The Steed is a 24 3/4, and the Sonic Empress is a 25 1/2. So you know, got a few different feels. And right now, pretty much all the guitars in the booth are featuring Gemini pickups that are made by my good buddy Rob Banta out of Newburgh, New York. And this set here is, you know, basically a set of humbuckers. We call these the bottom buckers. And A2 neck in the A2 magnet in the neck and A4 in the bridge, and really stoked on his work. It's really nice to have them all around. Some of them look like gold foils, some of them are gold foils, some of them are hybrid, you know, a mix of the two. So yeah, just really stoked on the turnout so far. The booth has been pretty busy this year, which, you know, like last year we had people kind of stumbling upon us and seeing a lot of faces that we saw last year here. So it's really nice that it's getting a good response the way it is, you know. So.
Fantastic, and this also reminds me of like vintage Japanese Yamahas as well. It has that sort of feel to it. Yeah. So are you solely finding interest in, or influence even, in vintage models that you're trying to kind of drive into the future, I guess?
Certainly. I mean, you know, like with my Sonic Empress models, you can clearly see that there's some Jazzmaster influence in it. You know, with this one, with the All Access, you know, I was really going for something that was kind of radical in the start. It was really offset before. I probably trimmed about an inch of the bottom off, you know. And you know, some people really dig this model. I think this is only the fourth one that I've done, so it's still kind of, you know, in its infancy. I have a lot of ideas that I want to do with this model. You know, I think it would even make a really bitchin' bass shape. But you know, I'd like to do one with a German carb. I'd like to do one with an arch top on it. There's a lot of possibilities with that one. I just haven't had the time to really focus on that model so much. So, in time.
Sounds like you've got plenty of ideas though to develop these guitars forward. I mean, it doesn't seem like there's any time that you're going to be slowing down.
Way more ideas than I've been able to physically, you know. I mean, everywhere from shapes to colors to you name it. You know what I mean? I still got more models in my head that eventually will come out. So, yeah.
Great. Thanks very much, Justin. Joe. Obviously, you're going to give us a demo of this great guitar, but what's your take on these instruments?
Well, in particular, I really love Justin's style, and that's the first thing that catches you. You get a lot of these headstocks that have the slotted style. Not many people do those kinds of tuners, and some people are tuned off by them that often remind them of like their beginning guitar, right? They're fantastic. They hold tune really well, and they're easy to string, and they look really good. But he's got the solid headstocks too, and so apart from the great style, and he does a lot of really great vintage work on these, antiquing them, they're really comfortable and really playable. This AA in particular has a great balance to it. It's really light. It's smaller than it seems. You know, it's really and the necks are thick and comfortable, and your hand rests in them really well. It's really comfortable on my fingers. You just want to pick them up and play them because they're not pretentious. You're not afraid that you're going to ding them up. They actually look better if you ding them up a little bit. You know, which I don't encourage anybody here to do. But if you buy one, you can ding it up all you want. And yeah, they're just really playable and fun.
Great, thanks very much. Do you mind playing us out?
Sure.